Good morning. Can people hear me?
Good morning, sir.
Hello?
Yes, yeah,
Yes,
Lynn. Uy,
Hello?
we are hearing you, sir.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
You can hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, we are going to start. We are going to set off from where we left the other time.
yes,
We had started on a database,
yes.
which we had called Nkumba University. So we are going to start off from there. Any questions
Okay.
before I begin? No questions? Okay, let me share my screen and we start off from where we ended last time. I hope everybody now can create a database up to this size. We had the courses, we had the payments, and we had the student data. Okay. So we saw how we can assign data types. We said we go to view, then design a view. That's where we assign the data types from. And we talked of the primary key. We saw how to insert rows and columns and so on. So data sheet view. Then we saw how we create the forms. Okay. We saw how we create the forms. Now I'm going to use a different, because we want now to look at the criteria. We want to look at the queries. Now, since mine has no data, I have to use a different one which has data in it. Let me share another screen. Okay, we are going to use this, which has got some data in it. So we have the tables, we have the forms, which are used to enter the data we saw the other time. But now, today, we want to look at queries. So a query is used to retrieve data from a database. As you can see, this database here, it has a lot of data. But we may want to retrieve some data from it. So, for example, this table for baptism. This is a table for baptism. We want to filter out baptism depending on certain criteria. So to do the filters or the queries, we come to create. Remember, under create, we can create tables. We can also create forms. But this time, we are going to create queries. We are going to create queries, and we are going to use the query wizard. Okay, let's use the query design. First, we shall come to the wizard later. So under the query design, we are going to be given the tables we have on the right-hand side here. As you can see, these are the tables that we have here. So we look for the table which we want to make a query for. So the table we want is baptism. We double click that table. As we double click it, it comes here. I'll go back and I show you to make queries also from various tables when we use the tables which have relationships. But now let's first use query for a single table. Anytime you have a question, you can post it in the group, in the chat room. So we have our table for baptism, and down here are the fields which we want to create. So from that table, I want to return the date. First of all, I need the ID. So the ID comes. Then I want the date. I don't need the number, but I need the date on which a person was baptized. I double click, it comes. Then I'm interested also in the surname of that person. I'm interested also in the Christian name. Excuse me. Now, I'm not interested in the date of birth. I'm not interested in the father's name. I'm not interested in mother's name. The godparent I don't like. The residence. Okay, so other things I'm not interested in. Okay, let's include also the date of birth. Okay. So the only fields that are going to be returned are the ID, then date of baptism, the surname, Christian name, and date of birth. So I'm going to say run. So the moment I say run, as you can see now, only that has been returned. And then I'm going to save this query, save it, Control S. I'm going to give it a name. So my name I'm going to give it is query names. So that is okay. Now, when you come to the queries here, you can see the query names which I have created. So I have various queries here. I have the query names. So if I need names and I come here, it will show only the names. However, I can modify this query by coming to view, then design view. So under design view, I can choose to remove the date of baptism. So if I unclick that, it means that field is not going to come back. So if I run, as you can see, now I have removed the date of baptism. If I want, I can return it by going back to the design view. Then I return it, then I run, so the date comes back. That is a design view. I can also, under the design view, I can change the criteria. Say, for example, I need only the people who are baptized, but having their surname beginning with the letter K. So I need all the people who are baptized, but have a surname which is beginning with the letter K. So under criteria here, I come under criteria, then I'm going to put letter K as the surname. Then I'm going to run. So if here I don't have any person with letter K, but now I'm going to, because when I run here, it means a person should have the surname is only letter K. So I don't have a person with only letter K, but now I'm going to say any name with the letter, starting with the letter K, but with other letters. But as long as the starting letter is K, then I'm going to run the criteria. So now you can see I have only the surnames with the letter K, as you can see. The first criteria was only letter K. Okay? So any person with letter K, so there's no, but now I need all the people with their surname beginning with the letter K. So I put K and I put an asterisk. In those notes which I gave you, the access notes, these things are there, the criteria. There's a page on criteria. So letter K, then I run. Now I'm going to return those which begin with KA. KA. So as you can see, only those with KA have returned. Now I'm going to improve on my criteria. Now I like the surname beginning with the letter K, and then the Christian name beginning with T, letter T. So I'm improving on my criteria. Surname begins with KA, but Christian name should begin with the letter T. Then I run. As you can see, I have only two people who have KA and they begin with the T. I can also improve on my criteria. This time I'm got first name, surname, letter K, and then Christian name begins with T. Then I run. So you can see the list now. Any question? Does the silence mean everything is okay? Or it means people? So the criteria, remember the notes which I posted in a group? Let me get back to those notes and see. Okay, let me share another screen. So these criteria are there in the notes which I gave you. We have the simple criteria for all data. So we have equals. This is what I've been doing. I have been using a criteria to type one letter, and I say any name with X, and you saw it never returned. So this is equals anything which is equal to X. So the other time I was choosing a K. So it searches for equal, whatever is equal to X. Then we have does not equal. Okay? So we can use not equal in. So I may search names as long as it's not a name with X. then null. Then we go to simple criteria for text. Now this is the like X. This is what I've used. Let me expand the screen. So remember I was putting an asterisk. So when you put an asterisk first and last, it means anything in between. Then this one means anything but starting with X, but other letters. That's what I used. I used the K asterisk, begins with. Then this one does not contain X. This one contains X. Then ends with, we have comes after, we have greater than or equal to, comes after, then comes before, less than or equal to. Say, for example, if I want all who were born after the year, we may say we need all the children who were born after the year 2000, or all the students who were born before the year 2000. So the after and the before, this is what you use. Again, in the other Nkumba database, we may say, I want all the students who have tuition balance, which is greater than 1 million, or who have tuition balance, which is less than. So this is the criteria to use. Then we have number criteria. Let me reduce this. Between, say, I may want the students who were born between the year 2001 and 2010. So this is the criteria to use, between. I may want all the students who have a tuition balance, which is between 1 million and 500,000. So this is what we use. Then less than is that. Less than or equal to, we use that. Greater than, we use that. Greater than or equal to, we use that. Then we have also criteria for dates. These were criteria for numbers. First of all, we had criteria for text. So that is when you're working with the text, as you're working with numbers, these are the criteria that we use. Then we have also criteria for the dates. Now, the other numbers, it was the year. If I want children who were born between the year 2000 and 2010, now those years, those are numbers. But when it comes to dates, say, I want all the children who were born between 1st November 2001 and 31st December 2010. So now it comes to dates. So these are the criteria for the dates. It is only practice that will help you to understand these criteria. Okay? The more you practice them, the more you understand them. Before, so these things are also going to help you in your programming. You'll find these things later on when you're doing database programming, they will come back. So you have the today, that is equals date, uses that function. The number of days. For example, if you want to write a code, you have gone to the supermarkets and you have seen expiry dates. So how does the system determine an expiry date? So you use the X days before today. So if I may set my expiry date will be 30th November 2024 as the expiry date. So I have to count from today to 30th November 2024. How many days are there? So X days before today. So the system can tell you how many days are remaining to the expiry date. Okay, so these are the criteria. I have already shared the notes with you. If I have not, you can remind me, but I hope I have already shared the notes with you. Let's go back to our work. So this is our university work now. I'm coming to create and query design. So I have tables, I have courses, I have payments. Now, the moment I bring a second table, you remember the other relationships which we put, and I have a third table. So I have, remember the relationships which we put. So because these tables have relationships, that's why you are seeing these lines. So I can pick a student ID, a course ID from the table here. Someone is not muting his mic. Okay. So I can pick from the course ID. Then I come to a student's table. I pick a student ID. Then from the payment, I can pick a payment. So what am I doing here? I want to know a student. Okay, I want to know a student, the course the student is doing, and what payment a student has done. So if I run, okay, there's a mismatch in the expression. It means the ID here, which I created, doesn't work. I don't have any data in these tables. That's why I'm struggling. But if I add data, it will be working. But let me explain what we want. So what we want to pick a student here. Want to pick a student here. Now, the moment I pick a student, the system is able to tell me the course the student is doing and the payment the student has done. That is the logic behind. If I add data, that is what would work. Let me use the other data on the other hand. This is not what I want to share. Okay. So our design view here. So this is where the criteria, this line here, the criteria. Now we have all, okay? So I have taken K, but I can choose all, that means S. Then I'm going to run the query. So as you can see, I have K and S in my table. So I'm using the same table here, but if I had a relationship between these two tables, now the relationship will not be created because I don't have a primary key taken as this side. If I have to create a relationship, I have to go back to the design and I make the primary key here become a foreign key here. But if I had a relationship between the two tables, I would pick from this table and I pick from this table as well. So I get one list which has both tables. Those are the queries. That's how we do the queries, unless there's any question. I want to go to something else. You can practice this in your free time, in your groups. I'll give you sample numbers to use for practice. Okay, if there's no question, let us proceed to reports. So we begin with the tables. Then we have queries. We have seen how we create queries. We have forms. We saw the forms. Now let us see how we create a report. So any system in database, any system is capable of taking in data, updating the data, then querying the data, and also be able to produce reports. So we want to see how we produce reports. Now reports are produced from the queries which we make. So from the queries, like we have made a query for names here. Like this query here, which we made for names. So after making the query, I think let's remove this table here. And so we have a query there. So after, we need a report from this query. So we have to again back to create, then a report. Remember the query has to be selected, which you have to create a report for. So we go to report. I did not save, so you must save. You say yes. So we have a report now created. As you can see, this report was created today, Wednesday, 2nd October, and that is the time and the query name. We can also save this report. I'm going to give it a name, query name report. So it is this report that you can print now out of the system. It has a footer, page 1 out of 1. But we can also change this report again by coming back to view, design view. So we have been in report view. There's print preview. I'm closing the print preview, but now I'm going back to the design view. So under the design view, I can change the logo here. I can also change the title. I'm going to put baptism report. I can change also the colors to any color I want. So you can change the colors. You can even change the backward fill color. Let me change the entire background color. Okay. I'm going to remove this logo. I don't need it. Then if I go back to report view, so that is what I have. That is a print preview. Okay. Design view is where you change your design from. You can change to any design you want. So we have seen how we create the tables, the queries, the forms, then the reports. Okay. Any question so far? Are people there or you are sleeping? Everything is
We are
clear.
there. We are there. We are there.
We are there.
We are there.
Suraj, is everything clear?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Everything is
No,
okay.
there's no question for me.
No, no, no.
Okay. Let me share something else. Since everything is clear.
But Sam, I'm lost.
You are lost. Why are you lost? Who has told you to be lost? What is the problem? Okay, let me share another screen. Someone say, how do you create a remote? The report? I'm lost, son. Now I don't know where you are lost. Okay, I'm going to post these 12 questions in the group. So the first question says, the table below gives information on some students. Let me first put them in a WhatsApp group so that you get them. Okay, I have sent them in a WhatsApp group. You can check there. Have they come? So the table below gives information on some students in a certain secondary school about their registration numbers, names, class, age, sex, and names of houses where they reside. So load a database program of your choice, that is Access, and name it registration exercise, right? In a folder bearing your index number. So that is the table. We have table 1, which is called register, and we have table 2, which is called details. That is table 2. Now, when you look at this first table here, the registration number is the primary key. And when you look at this second table here, it has also a registration number, which is the primary key string. So you have two tables. Now, when you are required to create a table called register with the fields, those fields. Then create another table called details with those fields. Then create a one-to-one relationship. Okay? So we need a relationship between these two tables. Remember, we created a relationship. So create a one-to-one. Then create a query. Create a query for Bikunya and Winnie. Save it as. Create a query for register table to return all houses excluding Bikunya. Now, we have a house here. We have a house which is called Bikunya. So the first element here, you want you to use a criteria which is going to return all the members who belong to the Bikunya house. Okay? Who belong to Bikunya house and Winnie. So we have Bikunya and Winnie. So the first query should return all the members who belong to Bikunya house and Winnie house. So it means we need two houses. Then the other query is excluding Bikunya, and so create a query from register table to return all houses excluding Bikunya. So should return all the houses excluding Bikunya. That's another criteria. We have seen the criteria. So this question wants you to learn. It is playing with the criteria which we have used. Then another says create another query with the fields, registration number, names, date of birth, sex, and house that will display all female born in 1996. Now, when we come back to, we have date of birth here. But when you come to this table, it has no date of birth. Okay? But the details table has the date of birth. So now it means we have to get two tables under our criteria selection in the query design. We have to, but remember our tables, we created a relationship up here. So we are going to use this relationship which we created. Unless you create a relationship, you cannot do this query here. Then create another query with the fields. Okay, that one, date of birth. Create another parameter query based on house that will display student information when the user types in a house. The questions are still many, but at the end of it, we need to create a report using table 1. That is a register table. You have to create a report. We have also another query here for all those who are members born between the year, between February and September. So you're going to form groups. Suraj, are you the coordinator of the entire class or?
Which entire class?
The entire class for this one, School of Computing only. Computer
No.
Applications 1.
Yes.
You are the coordinator of the entire class, right?
Mm.
So we are going to form groups. Let me see. We are forming there. There are 4 questions, 5. Okay, there are 5 questions. We are going to form 5 groups. Okay. We are going to divide us into 5 groups, and each group is going to do one number. Each group is going to do one number, and in our next lecture, next Wednesday, we shall be presenting, each group will be presenting its answer. Okay?
Okay,
Each
sir.
group will be, so we are dividing ourselves into 5 groups. Each group is going to take, so automatically group 1 is going to take question 1. Group 2 is going to take question 2. Group 3 will take question 3. Group 4 and group 5. So each group is going to do a number, and this is going to be part of your, so this is going to be our 3rd coursework, isn't it? We already have 2. So that
Yes.
we have
Yes,
2.
please, sir.
We already have 2, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So the group 1 now is going to be the 3rd one. And this one is going to be presented next Wednesday in class. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Okay, any questions? I'm going off. I'm going to upload this one on the YouTube channel.
Sir,
Some people
sir.
have not yet subscribed. I don't know why.
Nigga is not hearing.
It's not what?
Sir,
Yes?
sir, I was reminding you about the book you told us on Saturday.
On Saturday, which book?
Eh?
You want to hack people?
Yes.
No, you go and do cyber security.
But sir, you promised to send it.
Oh, someone saying there's independence next Wednesday. So people have already planned for independence. You want to go out. Okay. Let us give the other Wednesday. Let's not enter into people's independence. Okay, we shall do it the other Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we respect people's independence.
Excuse me, Master.
Yes? You are excused. The data has gone away. You no longer
Now
have
we
data.
don't have groups.
Huh?
We are not having groups for.
Yeah, that is a class captain to do it, not me. Class captain will organize the groups. I think we can do it over the WhatsApp so that everybody is involved. We can use the WhatsApp group to create the groups.
Yes, sir.
Master, our
Anyway.
class captain. Our class captain.
What's wrong with her? She's hearing you talk, she's hearing.
She's unapproachable, Master. She's unapproachable.
So that have you had your unapproachable?
Gonzo David, I don't know what your problem is, but you should approach me one-on-one and you tell me what your problem is.
Okay.
So
That
where
is
should
between you and her. It is out of our class.
But
So this gentleman has his own problems as a person, not as the class.
Okay. He has heard, he will approach you. We are
Master,
finished.
now you
Yes,
see, I cannot approach someone who's annoyed. Now the reaction, you see the way she's
Okay.
talking.
That is
She's
okay.
so
Outside of class.
You get another coordinator.
That's outside of class. Any other question? Okay, if there's nothing, I end the lecture here. I'm going for a meeting right now. Someone was saying something. Okay, we are going to create a groups over the WhatsApp group. So we are going to put a list and then people will feed in their names so that everybody knows which group it belongs to. Someone says, is asking where is supposed to work to? Where have you been? You'll go to the class coordinator so that you'll tell you where coursework 2 is. Okay, we can end there. Then let the group be active. Such the groups are created now so that people know to which group they belong. Someone say we don't have.
Share for us that link.
Who was the second coursework? Who was the second coursework
Share
for
for
Excel?
us, that's it.
They sent it in the group, Master. We have it.
So those of you are saying you don't have it, have you had? It was sent in the group and you have it.
Maybe
Okay.
I'm going to have to share that coursework for those who did not receive it.
Okay. The coordinator says she's going to repost it. So keep in the group, you'll see it. Otherwise, if you miss the second one, then you'll not have marks. I give marks for 3 courseworks. There was one for Microsoft Word. There's one for Excel. Excel, there are 2. Now, we are in the class for computer applications 1. Someone is asking information systems and technology. People get serious. This class is for computer applications 1, not information systems and technology. You ask that question when it comes to that class. Okay. It seems people are out of questions. That's why they're going to another course unit.
Share for us that video.
We can go to the WhatsApp group and create the groups.